Hello, everyone, and welcome to Barca News. It's December 21st, 2022, and a new club is interested in signing the Dutch forward Memphis Depay. Also, the club has been linked with Nicolas Raskin, and it looks like Barcelona are willing to offer N'Golo Kante a pre-agreement next month. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and I'm currently out of town visiting my family for the holiday. So I'm away from my computer and all my equipment. And as such, I'm bringing you this live video with the most up-to-date news in regards to Barcelona. And I will continue bringing you live videos all week until I return home. So please bear with me as I bring you the most up-to-date news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. And I will begin with the news that three more players have returned to Barcelona and reincorporated themselves with the training, and those players are Rafinha, Memphis Depay, and Frankie de Jong, all of whom their teams got eliminated in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And as such, all the Barcelona players have returned to Barcelona to train with Xavi in the Ciudad Esportiva, for the exceptions of Ousmane Dembele and Jules Koundé, who did make it all the way to the final, and as such, they're not going to be coming back to Barcelona until next week. Now, on to the news that a new club is now interested in signing Memphis Depay, and that club is Newcastle. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona are looking to offload Depay to clear space on their wage bill to be able to sign new players, and Depay is also looking to leave the club because he wants a primary role on the squad, and he knows he's not gonna be getting that at Barcelona with the presence of Robert Lewandowski. And as such, both parties have agreed to part ways, and it seems that a new club are interested in signing Depay, and that club is the Premier League club Newcastle, who are willing to offer Memphis Depay a very lucrative salary, and they've also promised him a primary role in the reconstruction project. Now, if Memphis Depay does agree to go to Newcastle, it's reported that the Premier League club will be making an official offer on January 1st, 2023. Now, as I reported before, Memphis Depay wants to leave Barcelona as a free agent, but the club are not willing to part ways with him for free because they want to cash in on his value. So even if Depay does agree to go to Newcastle, and Barcelona will not allow this transfer to happen unless Newcastle are willing to pay a transfer fee for the Dutch forward. Now, speaking of Dutch players, it's reported that Barcelona have scheduled or are due to schedule a meeting with Frankie de Jong in order to discuss the Dutch midfielder's future. Now, as I reported previously, Manchester United attempted to sign Frankie de Jong over the summer. However, the player was not willing to leave the club. But there are now rumors stating that Frankie de Jong has spoken to Manchester United's coach, Erik ten Hag, and told them that he could reconsider his move to the Premier League club at the end of the season. So as such, Barcelona want to sit down with Frankie de Jong in order to discuss the player's future, to see whether he wants to remain in Barcelona or whether he's willing to go to another club. Now, even if Frankie de Jong wants to remain in Barcelona, the club still want to sit down and talk with the player because they want to renegotiate his salary. Because as I've mentioned before, Frankie de Jong, not only does Frankie de Jong have the highest salary on the squad, he also has the highest salary in the entire Spanish league. And as such, Barcelona cannot afford this astronomical salary that was given to the player by the previous president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, which is a salary way above market value. And the club want to renegotiate the salary and bring it down, not only to reflect the player's market value, but also to bring that salary under the strict pay scale that Jean Laporta has implemented at the club, where no player can earn more than 10 million euros. Now, on to the news that Barcelona will also be looking to sit down and talk to Ousmane Dembele in order to discuss the French player's future. Now, as I reported before, Dembele signed a 2-year contract with Barcelona until the summer of 2024. And in that contract, he has a 100 million euro release clause, which is due to go down to 50 million euros next summer. And that release clause is reportedly meant to be split between the club and the player 50-50. So in other words, if a club comes next summer and decides to take Dembele and pay the release clause of 50 million euros, the club would only be getting 25 million euros and Dembele would be getting the other 25 million euros. Now, Barcelona are looking to extend Dembele's contract, not only to protect a player that's very important for Xavi, but also to increase that release clause, because in case Dembele does want to leave the club at the end of the day, then Barcelona could cash in on the sale of the French forward. Now it's reported that Barcelona want to sit down with Dembele to discuss his future, and they have already initiated contact with his agent, Musa Sissoko. Now on to the new. Now speaking of Xabi, it's reported that the Spaniard has told the footballing director Matteo Alemani that if he cannot make any signings this summer, that not to worry. I'm sorry, this winter, not to worry about it because he considers that he has a complete squad and that he can compete with the current team that he has. Now, as I reported before, both Jean Laporta and Jordi Cruyff have confirmed that it's going to be nearly impossible for Barcelona to sign any players in the winter transfer market due to the strict La Liga financial fair play rules. And as such, Xabi has told Alemani that if he can't make any signings, not to worry, that he could work with the team that he currently has. Now, it's reported that Xabi does want to also extend the contract of Marcos Alonso because Alonso had signed only a one-year contract until the summer of 2023. And it's reported that Xabi is very happy with the performance of the Spaniard. And he's also happy with the flexibility of this Marcos Alonso, given that he can play as a fullback, as a wingback, and even as a center back. So it's reported that Barcelona are going to be sitting down with the player starting January in order to negotiate his contract extension. It looks like Barcelona could be offering Marcos Alonso a one-year extension or even a two-year extension, and they're hoping that he will agree to continue receiving a low salary like he currently is. Now, even though it's been reported many times that the club will be nearly impossible to make any signings in the winter, more players are still being linked with Barcelona, and the newest name to be linked with the club is Nicolas Raskin. Now, Nicolas Raskin is a 21-year-old midfielder who currently plays at the Belgian league, and it's reported that his contract expires in the summer of 2023, and he doesn't want to stay at his club. And as such, he has been linked with Barcelona, given that Barcelona are currently in the market for free agents because of their difficult financial situation. However, I haven't heard any sources from the club confirm this report, so I would put an asterisk right next to this report because it's not being confirmed on whether it's true or not. Now, speaking of midfielders, it's looking like Barcelona want to offer N'Golo Kante a pre-agreement starting next month. Now, as we've been talking about for these previous few weeks, Busquets' contract will expire at the end of the season, and Barcelona are currently in the market to find a replacement for him. And one of those names that we've been talking about for quite some time is N'Golo Kante, whose contract will expire with Chelsea in the summer of 2023. And it doesn't look like the French midfielder will be extending his contract with the Premier League club. Now, as such, Barcelona have started contact with the player and his camp to try to see if he can come to Barcelona to replace Busquets in that pivot position. And it's also reported that this move would be contingent on Barcelona conducting extensive medical exams of the player to see whether he is physically fit, because N'Golo Kante has been dealing with a lot of injuries as of late, and he has missed the World Cup and he hasn't been playing much this season thanks to those injuries. Now, it looks like Barcelona want to offer N'Golo Kante a pre-agreement next month because since his contract does expire at the end of the season, by law, Kante can sign a pre-agreement with a future club starting January, and that's when Barcelona want to sit down with the player and try to get to sign him a pre-agreement. Now, Xabi does like N'Golo Kante and likes the profile of the player, but as I've discussed many times before, his favorite option is Real Sociedad's midfielder Subimendi. However, the club have made it very clear to Xabi that they're not going to be paying the 60 million euros that Real Sociedad are currently asking for their midfielder. Now, another player that had been linked with Barcelona, which looks like he's not going to be coming to the club, is the Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli. Now, Martinelli is a 21-year-old winger who currently plays for Arsenal, and his contract was due to expire in the summer of 2023. And as such, Barcelona were tracking the player, hoping to sign him as a free agent. But it's now being reported that Gabriel Martinelli is going to be renewing his contract with Arsenal until 2027 because Mikel Arteta considers him a fundamental piece of his squad. And as such, this has closed the door to Barcelona on any possibility of signing the Brazilian forward. Now, another player that Barcelona will for sure be missing out on is Diogo Dalot, who's Manchester United's right back, whose contract was also due to expire in the summer of 2023. And as such, Barcelona were considering him to reinforce the right back position. But as I reported previously, Manchester United's coach Erik ten Hag had reported that there was a clause in the contract of Diogo Dalot that allowed Manchester United to extend the contract of the player by one more season until 2024. unilaterally, and that's what the club had decided to do. Well, it seems now that Diogo Dalot is considering extending his contract by even one more season until 2025. So this definitely closes the door on the possibility of Barcelona signing Diogo Dalot for the right back position as a free agent. Now we will end today's video with the good news that medical exams have been performed on Ronald Araujo, and it seems that his recovery is going much faster and much better than initially anticipated. So he could be coming back pretty soon. Some are even speculating that he could be back as soon as the first match that Barcelona are going to be playing after the World Cup, which is the Catalan Derby against Espanyol on December 31st. I personally don't think he might be. I personally don't think that he's gonna be back by that match. He might be declared fit, but I don't see him playing in that match. I think it'd be a little bit too soon. But the good news is that Ronald Araujo will be coming back pretty soon, and he will be able to play the remainder of the season as Barcelona look to win La Liga title. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel. It's free. It only takes a second. And in doing so, you would be helping this small and humble channel continue to grow so I can continue bringing you the most up-to-date news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. For all of you who have already subscribed, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for constantly supporting this channel. It means the world to me. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.